Welcome and introduction. Welcome to our latest video, brought to you by Motorize.de, your go-to destination for new and used parts. Today we're diving into the Honda VF1000, a V4 that helped define the 80s. Powerful, touring-friendly, and full of character. We'll cover what really matters, from its origin story, engineering and design to how it rides, known weak spots, and current market values. You'll also get clear buying criteria and our recommendation. For context, the lineup includes the everyday-friendly VF1000F, the European VF1000F2 bowl door with a full fairing, and the more uncompromising VF1000R with its distinctive twin headlights and side-mounted radiators. One technical detail we'll keep coming back to: Honda's track anti-dive on the 41mm fork, a product of its time designed to support the front end under hard braking. Let's kick things off with the story of this mighty V4. History and development. In 1984, Honda introduced the VF1000F as a sporty tourer above the VF750F, a 998cc V4 with twin overhead cams and 16 valves, built for speed and distance. Early on, it became clear that the camshaft oiling on the first F model years was sensitive to oil quality and heat. In 1985, Honda responded on two fronts. The VF1000F2 bowl door gained a full fairing, improved oiling, and in Europe, up to 122 horsepower. In parallel came the VF1000R, a homologation special for endurance racing and TTF1, with gear-driven cams, higher compression, twin-round headlights, and side-mounted radiators. Performance impressed, and so did the weight. Production ended in 1986, but the following VFR generation took the concept mainstream with standard gear-driven cams and better everyday usability. One race-bred R detail stands out: those robust, finely machined cam gears and their metallic gear whine that fans still love to this day. Technical highlights. Hidden under the fairing is a 998cc 90-degree V4, liquid-cooled, 4 valves per cylinder with double overhead cams. In the VF1000F, it makes about 113 horse at 9,500 RPM, with a strong usable surge of torque from roughly 4,000 RPM. Power goes through a 5-speed gearbox to a chain final drive. Defining hardware includes a 41mm telescopic fork with Honda's track anti-dive and a ProLink monoshock at the rear. It runs a 16-inch front and 17-inch rear wheel. Braking is by twin discs with Nissin 2-piston calipers up front and a single disc at the back. The F comes in around 238 kilograms dry, with the R a bit heavier. Depending on version, the tank holds 22 to 23 liters, and seat height sits at about 800 millimeters. Model note: the VF1000R uses gear-driven cams and a different cylinder head. Good for durability and that unmistakable gear whine. Design and ergonomics. The VF1000 wears pure 80s lines. Sharp planes, a broad fairing with distinctive louvered vents, and a chunky tank that visually accentuates the V4's breadth. On the F2 bowl door, the full fairing delivers noticeably less buffeting. The side panel script proudly nods to its endurance racing heritage. The foot pegs are moderately rear set and the clip-ons slightly raised, sporty without punishing your wrists. Up front, the track anti-dive fork curbs excessive dive under braking. Out back, the adjustable ProLink is comfort biased as standard. The 16-inch front wheel makes it eager to tip in, but it rewards clean, precise steering inputs. The seat is long and well padded, with an integrated grab handle for the passenger. A practical touch: large, easy-to-read round gauges with separate temperature and fuel readouts. On the VF1000R, that twin headlight steals the show. Iconic and genuinely useful at night, handling and everyday usability. Out on the road, the VF1000 plays it cool. The near-liter V4 digs in from the mid-range. You ride the wave of momentum instead of constantly shifting. The 5-speed is tall-geared, drops revs on the highway, and suits its torque-rich character. A long wheelbase brings calm at speed, while the 16-inch front lets it tip eagerly into successive bends. With a full tank, though, it's still a big motorcycle. Tight hairpins call for a clean line and decisive inputs. Everyday perks: 22 to 23 liters of fuel yield a realistic 300-kilometer range, and the F2 fairing offers tangible weather protection. A detail with real-world payoff: the multi-stage track anti-dive on the fork keeps the geometry stable under hard braking. Less charming: heat buildup in city traffic and a heavy pull clutch in stop and go. Strengths and highlights. Its aces are character, stability, and long-distance prowess. The V4 serves up elastic mid-range punch without feeling twitchy, perfect for fast back roads and brisk autobahn stints. On the chassis side, the long wheelbase 16-inch front and ProLink rear deliver rock-solid tracking. The twin discs are fade-resistant, fit braided steel lines, and modulation gets even better. Tourers value the big range and relaxed ergonomics of the F and F2. On the F2, the full fairing noticeably boosts weather protection. Collectors and tech buffs love the VF1000R. Gear-driven cams, side radiators, and that unmistakable metallic gear whine make it truly unique. A practical touch on the F models, the easy-access seat latch with onboard tool compartment, worth its weight in gold on the road when you need to lift the tank or tighten a bolt. Weaknesses and common issues. Early VF1000Fs can suffer camshaft and rocker arm wear from inadequate top-end oiling. Ticking noises and rough running are warning signs. Honda addressed this from 1985 with revised oil passages. An external top-end oiling kit is also a popular fix. The VF1000R's valve train is stout, but it brings heat and heft. In city traffic, temperatures climb quickly, and the radiator fan thermo switch is a known weak point. On the chassis side, the track anti-dive unit can seize and make the fork harsh. The 16-inch front wheel is sensitive to tire choice. Electrically, the regulator, rectifier, and the 3-pin stator connector are common failure points. Typical old bike stuff includes leaking clutch slave cylinders, cracked carb intake boots, and notchy steering head bearings. One model-specific note: the F's exhaust collector is prone to rust. Originals are scarce and pricey, so inspect closely, especially along the lower seams. Accessories and customization. If you want to sharpen your VF1000, there are some smart upgrades. On the engine side, a quality 4-into-1 exhaust, a matched carb kit, and a washable air filter, dialed in on the dyno, work beautifully together. For F models, a top-end oiling kit like the Dave Dodge unit is proven insurance for valve train life. Up front, a fork brace and progressive springs add precision. Stainless braided brake lines paired with EBC HH pads boost bite and feel. For the VF1000R's 16-inch front wheel, classic street tires such as Bridgestone's BT46 or the Avon Road Rider M2 work well. Out back, a modern shock from Hagen or Icon brings better damping. Touring kit? Givy side racks and an MRA touring screen are a good fit. Electrically, a Shindengen MOSFET rec, such as the EK, with properly crimped connections and a headlay upgrade is well worth doing. Small model detail. Reproduction bowl door decals freshen up aged fairing panels in period-correct style. Market value and buying checklist. In Germany, the VF1000F typically sells for €3,000 to €5,000. The rarer VF1000R brings about €8,000 to €12,000 depending on condition. Bowl door F2s with full fairing and an original collector box are sought after. On a viewing, it should fire from cold without choke drama, settle to a steady idle, and show no flat spots between 3,000 and 4,000 RPM. Check charging voltage around 14 volts at higher revs, make sure the cooling fan cuts in, and inspect the track anti-dive fork for leaks. Essentials are a leak-free collector box, unmolested wiring, and healthy radiators. Proof of valve clearance adjustment and carb sync adds value, for good reason. On the R, fairing panels and headlight units are expensive. Also check the side radiators for leaks. One detail that moves the needle: an original, clean twin headlight on the R, or undamaged bowl door side fairings on the F2. Originality often sets the price. Verdict and buying advice. Bottom line, the VF1000 is a connoisseur's bike. Big displacement feel, real staying power, and an honest, mechanical vibe. If you're thinking daily use and touring, go for the VF1000F, or better yet, the F2 bowl door with its full fairing and revised oiling. Planning an oil mod is a plus. Tech fans and collectors will eye the VF1000R, the coveted high-tech sister with gear-driven cams and twin headlights, but budget for parts and the heat it builds in city traffic. Our recommendation: pick a well-kept F or F2 with a refreshed cooling system, documented valve clearance and carb service, a healthy regulator rectifier, and good tires. For 16-inch wheels, think Bridgestone BT46. Keep €1,000 to €1,500 in reserve for sorting the details. Do that, and the VF1000 will reward you with composure, range, and the kind of V4 charm modern bikes rarely deliver.